channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. Thanks so much for stopping by. So for today's video, I'm gonna be shopping my stash for 5-star rated makeup. So I'm really excited about today's video because I went on Ulta's website and I looked through all of their 5-star rated makeup, and then I shopped my stash to see what makeup that I had that had 5-star ratings so that I could give you guys my thoughts on these products while also creating a really cool makeup look. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. But before I get into the video, really quickly, I just wanted to say, if this is your first time ever coming to my channel, make sure that it's not your last time coming to my channel. Hit that little subscribe button down below, and also while you're down there, hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload from me again. Also, if you enjoy this video while you're watching this video, make sure that you like the video. It really does help me out a lot along the way. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So I'm starting out this look by doing my eyes first, and I'm going to be priming my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. So I'm going to be completely honest and transparent. I am absolutely biased regarding this eyeshadow primer. It was actually one of the first high-end products that I ever purchased for myself when I got my first job. So it's definitely got a special place in my heart. But with that being said, it really is an amazing eyeshadow primer. There are definitely other eyeshadow primers that are more affordable that do a similar thing, but I definitely think that this one stands above the rest just because it really does blank out any veining or decoloration that you have on your eyelid, as you can see. But also, eyeshadows cling so well to it, and especially like vibrant shadows. So moving on to the eyeshadow that I'm going to be using, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This is what it looks like, and I will say that this is an amazing eyeshadow palette. It did come to me ruined. I did have to repot Antique Bronze because it just came cracked, but even after I repotted it, it works so well and it blended out so well. So I'm going to take this eyeshadow brush, and I'm actually going to do a more neutral look with a little pop of red because this is definitely a reddish, pinkish palette, and sometimes it can be a lot if you're someone that's new with makeup, and that's totally okay. I do want this look to be a little bit more beginner friendly because I know that sometimes I can do like really pigmented, really colorful looks, but I do want to have some elements of like color to it. So just stay tuned for that. But first I'm going to be going in, I think I'm going to use Golden Ochre as a transition at first, just so everything can like sit on top of that nicely. And before I get deep into this look, I'm going to take the shade Primavera, tap off the excess, and then put that right under my brow bone. It's going to be a little bit more of a subtle brow highlight, but that's okay because we haven't even like done our brows yet. So if we need to add more later, we still can, but you can always put more color on. You can't take color back. Always remember that. So yes, I'm going to be brushing this onto my brow bone with a fluffy brush, and I like how well these shades definitely blend into each other without it looking like it's a lot of effort. That was so easy. Like honestly, that was one of the easiest blending experiences I've ever had. So now that all of that's done, we're gonna go into, I don't know, I'm gonna do Antique Bronze. I'm gonna take the shade Antique Bronze, which is the shade that I did have to repot. So this is definitely gonna be the ultimate test of if this product is a good product. So I'm gonna take this brush right here. It's a little bit denser, and I'm going to start working that onto my outer corner and into my crease. Now to add some brightness to this look, I'm going to take the shade Vermeer, which is right here, and I'm going to be putting that right on my lid. And I'm just going to be using a dense shadow brush right here. And if I need to spray the brush, I will, but I don't really think that I'm going to need to. Yeah, I definitely don't need to. It's so nice and pretty and springy, which I'm really excited about for this like look. It's been a little dark, not just like figuratively, but like, I guess figuratively and literally, but I'm just really happy that spring is coming, and you know, just I'm trying to look for the light and everything. So I know that that can be hard sometimes. Trust me, I know it's very difficult sometimes, but I think that makeup has really been something that will help take my mind off of things. So now that that's all on, I'm just going to be blending that in with the shade Antique Bronze. This definitely is worth the 5-star rating. Everything just blends out so nicely. I think that Anastasia does a great job at making palettes that are really accessible, not like financially, because they're not really financially accessible. That's definitely something that the company could work on, but I think that in terms of like experience level, Anastasia does a great job at making products that are so just easy to use, and I really do appreciate that. So now that that's all done, I'm going to pause on the eyes for a second. I'm just going to be jumping on to my face really quickly, and then I'll be back for the eyes. But right now, this is what we are working with. Pretty simple, pretty easy to achieve. Now that that's all done, I'm going to move on to my face. So starting off with my face base, which is my primer, I'm going to be using two 5-star rated products. The first one is the e.l.f. Poreless Primer Putty. This was so big like a year ago, and as you can see, I've made a significant dent in this. And then I also am going to be using the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is a new bottle, but I honestly am so in love with this product. It just is so luminous. So the e.l.f. primer is great for blurring out your skin and getting rid of the illusion of texture, acne, well, some acne, not all acne, and larger pores. And then this one definitely gives you that glow from within kind of look that I think is really big and popular now. So taking a mix of the two of these is like a all-star plan. Moving on to foundation, I'm going to be talking about one that I love so deeply. It honestly surprised me how much I love this product. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, and this is probably like my closest like spring shade, I would say. It is a little bit liquidy, but honestly, I was so surprised when I first tried this out. I've never experienced a drugstore foundation that had such like a high quality feel. It does remind me a lot of the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation, but this one definitely comes at a better price point, and I like that this is buildable as well. It is not transfer proof, so just keep that in mind, but it does stay on all day, and it kind of like refreshes itself, which I guess is why it's called fresh wear. But it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't look heavy, and it blends out so well. Like, do you see what I'm saying now? Like when I'm blending it out with this headband, it does get on it. It's probably because my brush is also bumping onto it, but it's easy to get out of clothing, I found as well, which is pretty nice. So yeah, I definitely go so far to say that this is my perfect like skin tone shade for spring. I was having a lot of difficulty, not gonna lie, figuring out when would be the perfect time to transfer from my winter shade. My winter shade is a lot paler than my summer shade is, let me tell you that. But this is like pretty adaptable, so I was really happy that I could use this. So now I'm gonna move on to concealer. I'm gonna be using the world famous Tarte Shape Tapes. My shades are Tan Deep Sand and also Tan. I like going in with Tan Deep Sand just a little bit. Shape tape can be a lot. Let's just say if you're someone that likes full coverage, you're gonna love this. If you are not someone that loves full coverage, you're gonna hate this. It's very thick and a little bit goes a long way. So I usually take my darker shade, that's my actual concealing shade, and I put that where I put it now. And then I take a little bit of a lighter shade and I put it right under like my inner corner of my eye. And then I take my pointer finger and I blend this out a little bit so that it can start setting just a little bit. I know I look so insane. And then I stop and I go on to everything else. So I blend out my chin, my lip, and then my forehead. And I do this because it brings light to the area. By the way, I don't know if I said that before, but concealing really does conceal and also brings light to any places you want to like highlight. Get my nose. And now that that is all blended out, I take my foundation brush and also my small concealer brush, and I just like dot on right under the eye so that we can get nice and close and clean up any like stray lines so that everything looks nice and pretty and sharp. And then we blend out with the foundation brush. And I'm gonna go back in with my finger one more time to get right up close to my eye, but that's like my technique of concealing my under eye without it looking super cakey. For a while I was not using this technique, and I would find that like as the day went on, I really did not like the way that my concealer was looking. So now that I blended that out, I just take my middle finger one more time and I press that concealer in. And I also found that the warmth from your finger helps with the creasing too. It's just my favorite trick, I think. But yeah, Shape Tape is a great concealer if you're someone that does like full coverage. Even if you're someone that doesn't, you can like use Shape Tape in a way that's gonna be flattering to you. But I like that it has the big doe foot, which is like what everyone likes, and every company started copying it after they did it. But Shape Tape is such a great concealer. And then one more time just to make sure everything looks airbrushed. And then I'm gonna set that down with my Anastasia Beverly Hills banana powder. This is also a 5-star rated powder. And I'm gonna take my little brush, tap off all that excess. I know that you think that you need this powder to bake, just need a little tiny dusting of powder, trust me. Dip it in again. And on the other side. And I I do this all over my face, I make sure that I have like the lightest dusting for around my eyes. That can crease so poorly and it makes you look older than you are. And I was like, I don't really want to look like I'm older than I am because nobody really does. And I'm really happy with how it is now. And I'm gonna let that bake for a little bit. I don't really do like the standard bake where it's like a bunch of powder just like caking onto your face. I do a light dusting of powder and then I let it sit for like 2 or 3 minutes and then I come back with my bronzer and I bronze everything up. Like when I do it like this, it doesn't really need to like be brushed away. So it blends in with my bronzer really well, which you'll see a little bit later. But for now, I'm gonna let it bake for a couple minutes and then I'll be right back. Moving on to bronzers, I'm gonna be using one that I love with all of my heart. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This stuff smells so good. And I'm gonna be using this on a bronzer brush. So I like to start this right under my cheekbones to give myself some warmth. And I also like to spread this on my forehead around the perimeter of my face and also down to my jawline. And then you just connect those together and blend them out. This is honestly such a nice bronzer because it blends out so easily. I really like products that are user friendly, where if you're not someone that like knows a lot about bronzers, which I was not when I first started using this, it really was a great introduction slash segue into using these types of products. It's a lot lighter of a wash than I'm used to. Like the Hoola bronzer definitely is a lot deeper or a lot more pigmented, but again, if you're someone that does not know a lot about bronzing, this is gonna be something that's like easy access. I also like putting this on my chin, and then I'm also gonna put this on my nose with a smaller brush. So taking my smaller brush, I'm dipping this in, tapping off the excess and contouring my nose. Again, I've talked about this before, but I really do not like using my everyday contour shade, which I'm going to be using in a couple seconds, but I think it's way too deep for the center of my face. And this just adds the extra dimension that I would like and that I feel like I need for my face to not look flat. So yeah, definitely my bronzer shade is the shade that I like using for contouring my nose, but for the rest of my face, I like using my contour shade. So now that my nose contour is done, I usually stop there, but sometimes I like to be a little bit more extra, which I'm gonna do today. I like taking this tiny little brush and dipping it into my setting powder and then just going right here to give it a little bit of definition. And also it helps, since I wear glasses, not get those like glasses lines. So I let this sit for like a minute and a half and then I dust it off. So while I'm letting that sit, I'm gonna move on to the rest of the contour for my face. I'm using the Hoola Toasted. I use this all the time. It's just so incredible. I'm using this contour brush and I'm definitely gonna tap off a lot of the excess of this because I don't want it to be too much. Something that you always want to do is blend outwards and up. Like I know you want to blend inwards, but blend outwards so that everything gets lifted and pulled back. And the line's gonna be more appealing if it's narrower, it being like a stark line. You'll see me fix it up a little bit more and blend it out, but you can always blend more in. You can't take contour away. Contour wasn't really a thing I did. Oh, I'm also blending this out with my bronzer brush. This is something that I like doing to soften everything. So now that that contour is done, I just take the other side of this brush that I used and I just brush it away. So now that that's done, I'm a little nervous. I've got two products that I bought during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. I've got this Cover FX. I'll start off with the blush. The Cover FX blush. It's the Monochrome Blush Duo in the shade Sweet Mulberry. It is so pretty. Like this is such a pretty, just, oh, it's so gorgeous. And I love the packaging of it as well. It's pretty simple, but I just think that it's really nice that they've got the matte over here and then they've also got the beautiful shimmer right here. So hopefully this goes well. And I'm actually only gonna go into the shimmer one. Oh, that's so pretty. I love it. Okay, so when I put on blush, I like to like smirk instead of do like a full-on like smile. Normally, I'm not like doing full-on smiles. I'm just smirking when I'm like, oh my gosh, ah. So I just go like this and blend. I like to blend it out into my bronzer contour just a little bit, like it's still like a lifted effect. Some people don't like that, that's okay, I do, so that's what I do. but I definitely do concentrate it on like the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm from the camp of I love a little bit of residual blush on the nose to add some dimension to your face. You don't have to do that. I love it. And a tiny tapping on my forehead. I do this because it kind of is where the sun would hit if I were like going outside getting like tanned or getting sun-kissed. So that's where I like to add like the extra bits of color. For the first time for me trying this out on camera, this is incredible. This is, I'll say, pretty dang expensive. The next product that I'm going to be trying out for like the first time on camera is this beautiful Nabla. Look at this. Oh my gosh, like this, look at this. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Lucent Jungle Glow Powder. I tried this with a little bit of a fluffier highlighting brush and it did not work that well. So I'm gonna be using this pretty dense one and I'm just going to swirl that around, tap off the excess, and just tap this on the high points of my face. I'm gonna set my face using this Milani Make It Last setting spray. I heard a lot about this before I'd actually purchased it. I like it a lot. It's definitely different from any other setting spray that I've like liked or used. It smells really nice and fruity, and also it's got a pumpy kind of spritzer, but it's like a nice fine mist if you can like see that. Just spraying that. Oh, it smells so good. I don't know why this smell reminds me of my senior year of high school, but it does. I never used this my senior year of high school, so there has to be another product out there that smells exactly like this one. So I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of my senior year of high school. Brings me back. Okay, so we're officially done with the face makeup portion. I'm gonna move on to my brows. There are 2 5-star brow products that I have today, or there are other. These are the ones that I wanted to use for this video because I love them so much and I use them both on and off camera. The first one is the Precisely My Brow from Benefit, and then the second one is the Benefit Brow Setter. It's just like a brow gel, but it's so nice. Honestly, the first time I tried this out, I was like, I don't know about that. Let's just say it has an interesting smell, but the Precisely My Brow is just so incredible because it's got such a nice fine tip and you're able to like mimic brow hairs. Now I'm just going to fill these in a little bit more, and I like this because it gets such a nice precise line. Now that everything's like filled in a little bit, I like taking the spoolie that's on the end of this. I'm about to like expose myself, but like, do you guys ever get like those little bumps, like pimple? I get pimples in the weirdest spots on my face. Like I'll get them like right here, or I'll get them in my brow hairs, and it'll make it like a little bald patch on my eyebrow, and I hate it. And then it's like I have to go over this like little bald bump with my brow stuff, and it's like, what the heck? Am I a mutant? Is Dr. Xavier gonna be like, hey sis, guess what? So now I'm gonna go in with Brow Setter by Benefit. I like honestly smearing some of the gel on first, and then like going in with the short side, brushing them up and then over, so that it gives my eyebrows like a fluffy brow kind of effect in a way that's polished. I don't really like the whole like fluffy brow trend from my face in its entirety, but yeah, this product is so good and it really does keep your brows set all day. Like I don't have any issues with like brow pencil sliding around. I don't have any issues with my hairs moving at all, and it was honestly a sleeper pick. So the brows are all done and I'm going to move back onto my eyes. So going back into the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to take the shade Antique Bronze once again, which is what I used on the outer corner, and I'm going to start blending onto my lower lash line as well. And I like using a hand mirror just so I can see everything. Now I'm going to move on to my eyeliner. I'm using the Pixi Beauty Endless Silky, and this is honestly one of the best eye pencils I've ever used. So this pencil glides on so incredibly well for such an affordable price point. I believe this is $9 at Target and $11 at Ulta, but I like lining my top line with it because it just glides on so well, and then I can use a brush to like diffuse it. So I like going up super close to my lash line so I don't make a mistake. And this is honestly the closest I've ever come to like an eye pencil that's like a gel liner. And I don't even like gel liners, but I love this pencil. But like this one just gets so close to that lash line, and it's so easy to use where you're not like skipping and bumping all over your eye. It doesn't catch on any eyeshadow, which I deeply appreciate because I've had so many liners, and this one is just so great. I will say it does dull down pretty quickly, but it does give a great line. So I like to pull my eye a little bit, and I know you're not supposed to do this, but I do it. This is my like sensitive eye. So I don't really need to do anything on like this eye. I think it looks pretty okay. But on this eye, I definitely need to fix it up. And I'm using this like angled brush, and I like to feather out on the outside so that it's not like a harsh blunt line, which I personally do not enjoy. And I like to angle it up just a tad so it gives a like lifted effect like a wing would without the commitment of doing a wing. Now I'm gonna go on to my mascara. I'm only gonna use one today, which is shocking for me, but I'm also gonna be using fake lashes. But the mascara that I'm gonna be using is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. This is such a famous mascara. There are so many different packagings of like this mascara. I got the one that looks like Clueless and I love it. So this is such a great mascara for beginners and also people that are experienced. It does a great job at lengthening. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Don't do what I'm doing. But if you like know what you're doing, do what I'm doing. This one is drying up a little bit, which makes me sad, but it lasted for a very long time. So, and I use this so much. Not so much anymore. I've started using a lot of Benefit mascaras, but this is still a great mascara. It's relatively mid-priced. It's not like expensive like Lancome Monsieur Big, and it's not like affordable like Essence, but it is good for what it is and the price point. So if you're like someone that wants to spend a little bit more on a mascara and you've got like the $20-some to spend on this one, I would say do it. So this is still a great mascara. I'm gonna try to use this on my bottom lashes. I'm scared that it's gonna like mess everything up, but no reward without risk, right? So I'm making sure that like there's none of that like extra buildup on the tip that could like be a thorn in my side. Not the best, but not the worst. It might be a little bit better when I put on my false lashes, so there's still hope. And if not, that's okay too. We're not in need of perfection, especially since the only place I'm going today is the mailbox. The mailbox is going to be very excited to see me today. Now I'm going to take this super tiny eyeshadow brush and I'm going to take the shade Tempera. It's not Tempera. Tempera? I don't know. I'm going to put this on my inner corner to give some light and brightness. Maybe a little bit too much light, a little too much brightness. Tap off a lot of the excess of your darker skin tone and just put that in the inner corner, and it just makes your eyes look more awake, you know? So now I'm gonna jump off camera and put on my fake lashes, and I'll be right back for my lips and to complete the look. Now that my fake lashes are on, I'm gonna move on to the final step of this makeup tutorial, which is doing my lips. So for my lip liner, I'm gonna be using the probably highest rated drugstore lip liner, and it is the NYX lip liner. This one's in the shade Brown. And for the lipstick, I'm gonna be using this Becca lipstick. It's in the shade Truffle, and I love this lipstick so much, and it's just a really pretty lipstick. Okay, so this lip liner is a little bit dry, I will say that, but this lipstick, oh my God, probably the most creamy, decadent, awe-inspiring lipstick. Like, it just glides on, and that was like one swipe. Like, this is a look. Girl, I killed it today. So I'm gonna set my face one more time. So I'm gonna jump off camera really quickly to finish getting ready, and then I'll be right back to give you my final thoughts. Alright you guys, so here's the completed look. I'm so happy with how this look turned out, and I hope that you guys are too. All in all, I really did like basically all of the products. They're all such great products at varying price points, and I think that that's also really important. Your whole makeup collection doesn't need to be like all high end for it to be good. There are so many drugstore products that you can use and mix in with those higher quality or higher priced products, and it's just gonna make your makeup look flawless. Like, I feel like my makeup today looks so pretty, and I'm so happy with it, and I hope that, again, you guys are too. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you let me know by liking this video down below. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, it really does help me out a lot along the way. Let me know if you guys have tried out any of these 5-star makeup products, or if you guys are thinking about trying out any of them, and I don't know, just talk to me down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. But until the next time, stay kind, keep creating, take care of you, and I will see you very soon. Bye.